Bigger. Better. Bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live. Direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now. Join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
For the past 58 years, CUC has strived to be more than just an electricity provider. We have sought to be a foundational company. We give back to our community, and with the hard work and dedication of our employees, we have built and maintained one of the safest and most reliable electricity grids in the region. As we all look to the future, we at CUC want the Grand Cayman community to have confidence that our commitment to you will continue. Join us as we continue this journey together at empoweringcayman.com.
Great news, Cayman! Tim Hortons is finally open and ready to serve you. Start your day right with our delicious all-day breakfast, or grab a box of our famous Timbits and a dozen donuts for a sweet treat. Need a quick pick-me-up? Swing by our drive-thru for your favorite espresso drink anytime. We're open weekdays from 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the weekends, closing 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, with 2 entrances at the Shamrock Road Roundabout in Red Bay. It's time for Tim's.
Good morning, Cayman. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. We got a lot to talk about. I hear a lot of parents are complaining. I just got a phone call. Oh, yay. What is going on? Well, y'all don't like change, but I guess this one came, whether you liked it or not. We're going to talk about it. Give me one quick second here. I am going to get all the links to send out first and foremost so that everybody can participate in the conversation. So we're having a bit of news updates, community happenings this morning. And I know that some of them you guys are not going to be particularly happy with. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this one was long overdue, in fact. So I'm not surprised when I received this message yesterday that there are now some restrictions in place on how you're going to navigate. What's the name of the place there? How are you going to navigate Patrick's Island? Yeah. Wow. I know some of y'all not happy about it, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down this beautiful Wednesday morning. Telephone number 936-2626. We will have open line here. All right. The link has been sent out. Don't forget, you can watch us on the website if you wish to. Some of you might have restrictions otherwise. So there's no restriction on the website yet. And yeah, So we're going to make sure you've got that, cmrtv.com. All right, sending it out to the groups. I had such a lovely young lady, young, but she's probably quite up in age. She's young at heart. Call me yesterday and say, Miss Sandy, I used to be able to get you, but she wasn't even sure how she used to get me. So I think I think it was YouTube. So I want to make sure, I'm just going to message her again this morning. I want to make sure that she has the link directly in her WhatsApp and she is ready to listen this morning. Yeah. I want to make sure that Oliver should call me. She said, you keep up the good work. I said, oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much. I just really appreciate the support everywhere I go. Get such amazing support. So there you go, my darling. I want to make sure. I don't think she realized that I was sending both links. So as a matter of fact, let me just pull it out to make it really, really easy for her. At least she's in WhatsApp. Some of y'all don't even have WhatsApp. Some of y'all be like, can I get the link? I'm like, join the channel. Y'all not on WhatsApp. So there we go. I'll make sure that she has that at her fingertips this morning. That's the personalized service we have here on CMR. Good morning to all of my beautiful people in the conversation already. We got Jim. Jim, thank you so much for the fresh vegetables. Miss Stacy made one hell of a salad. Look like I've been eating salad all week from all the lettuce that you brought. But yes, we got eggs and lettuce and chicken. Jim has a farm. So if you want to support local businesses and eat fresher for all your home cooking, then reach out to Jim. They send out a daily list by email of all of the various items that they have. They can do chicken parts, all kind of stuff. Yep. Apparently we're eating chicken foot soup these days. I said, yes, sir. Not me, but Gigi's been enjoying it. So Miss Stacy's been making that for her. So I appreciate it, Jim. I think we're still waiting on more chicken, right? And more eggs. We eat a lot of eggs around here. Eggs for breakfast, Jim. Eggs for breakfast. All right. Miss Olivia Damaris Strong Wilt is here. Good morning. Good morning. Big shout out to the CMR family. Patricia Blake in the house. Salome Gutierrez. Good morning. How are you? Marshall joining us from North Carolina. Yes, honey child. Miss Carol Jackson in the house. Beautiful, Miss Carol. How are you? We got Romelia wishing everyone a blessed and victorious day in the Lord. Robert Ebanks in the house. Scott says, what's the turnaround time for an NRA service request or an email to RCIPS Community Policing? I suspect that it depends on what it is and probably who's sending it. So what's the nature of the service request there, Scott? Let me know if I can help, because I'm sure that with NRA and RCIPS, I can help with both of those. Yes, bring the other dozen eggs. You might as well bring more than that, because I'm sure the dozen you just brought probably dwindled down by now. So bring more eggs. You can never have enough of those. And good morning, Miss Sophia. Processing more chicken on Friday. Want to bring it to you the freshest of the fresh. Yes, honey Jim. You grab them little chickens and deal with them on my behalf. I give you full permission. All right. So parents are in a state of confusion this morning because they're saying their kids can't get to buses and stuff because of the gated community there. And I need to go by and have a look, because if your kids don't live in the community, which is what I suspect is happening, how does the gated community impact them? You guys are saying the buses were going through Patrick's Island. So in case you missed the announcement, and this is why you got to make sure that you tune in, you follow CMR. Patrick's Island has finally put up their gates. Now, this has been in discussion for quite some time, I feel like, and because I knew it was coming. And I think that they have set it for a while to give people notice. And so now notice period's up. Now it's time. So tell me, because I'm trying to understand what the issue is, how you guys were having access to this gated community, and you were using it to do what? To go from one side of Prospect. So you were going through Red Bay to get to Prospect, and you were doing that by way of Patrick's Island? I always get confused when I go down Patrick's Island. Sometimes I come out on the Prospect side. Next time I come out on the other side by the bypass, and I can never really tell. Somehow I always miss the turn off and I do it the wrong way. But it's locked now. So this was the announcement yesterday that we posted up. They told everybody, yep, today's the day, September 10th. And I just got a call to say that it's mass confusion. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not out there. So what is the confusion, and why is the confusion being caused? So the thing with these communities, I mean, if you live in the community, your argument's going to be like, listen, Sandy, we purchased homes in these so-called upscale communities. We have covenants and we have certain expectations in terms of what we thought was going to happen. And then people started abusing it to try to avoid traffic congestion. They're making shortcuts. And you know what normally ends up happening is it causes more traffic in their areas that are supposed to be low traffic. And even the people in Windsor Park complain about this too. I heard them yesterday saying, maybe this is what we need to do for Windsor Park. Now, I'm not sure that Windsor Park would be able to pull it off, only because the streets within Windsor Park are actually public. You see, down in Patrick's Island, that whole area is a private community. So the private community can gate off access. They can say, nope, sorry. It says right there in the picture, as you see, this is a private road. So because it's a private road, they are able to do as they wish. I mean, to be fair to them, they are responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the road. And so, yeah, I mean, why do you want more traffic on a road that you have to be responsible? I can kind of understand where they're coming from. And I certainly would like to hear your opinion on this, but I think that if it's a private road, they're paying to maintain it, then they can keep who they want in and out. Now, obviously, if you have a home in that area, you have purchased the privilege at a very hefty price, no doubt. You have purchased the privilege to be able to access your home and the street to get to your home. Now, there are some people who are of the opinion that, you know what? It doesn't matter if it's a private community. That's because they don't live in the private community. That's why they can say that. They're like, we don't care if it's a private community. Everybody should have access to your private community. What's the point then of living in a gated community? It is a valid question. So people had an expectation, a reasonable expectation, that when they purchase these homes, whether it's, this one or down by Webster's Estate was the same thing. Y'all were kicking up a stink when Webster's Estate put up their gates. And again, it all comes down to traffic management and traffic flow. That's the only reason y'all are complaining, I don't hear any other legitimate arguments, really, except that, and I do have a question about emergency vehicles, which I'll get to in a second here, but the only argument that I'm hearing from 99% of you is that really this is about us being able to drive through these neighborhoods and have access to a cut through. And in the morning, some of them want to have their seniors be able to walk around safely in their neighborhoods without getting ran over by somebody trying to gain 2 minutes on traffic and then bottlenecking somewhere else. And in addition to that, of course, there are concerns about other activities. So let's go ahead and take the first caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Yeah, what's your take on this one this morning?
Well, I was a bit confused at first, but you made the explanation.
Okay.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what should have been done is that, listen, you just place some plainclothes police right in the area there. And once you issue over 200 tickets one day, the message would go straight across. It's not fair for commuters to be using these communities as thoroughfares. And I can tell you, some of them, they drive really fast.
Yes,
so
they're reckless.
I am totally in agreement because you clarified. They maintain the roads.
Yep.
So they have to do what they have to do to protect their community and especially children and persons who are walking in these communities. It's kind of harsh, but I mean, and this is the areas that we need our traffic department to deal with.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I have seen the NRA, we have spent money to mark these roads, yellow line, put up these poles, when all need to be done is that our traffic department just needs to get more vigilant. And when you constantly give people tickets for these infringements, they will stop. Because the only place you can hit a person is in the pocket.
Yeah.
So I am in total agreement. And as you say that, there is another area that I want you to get on. Coming out of Grand Harbor, you have this road, Bimmy Road. I think it's
Benemy or something. It's called. Yeah.
Yes, Bimmy. The previous Premier Alden, I think he said that that road was on the plan to be a public road before the development went in. When the development went in, they challenged, and I think it's right there now, they are the ones who are trying to prevent this road from going through.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those persons at the back of Grand Harbor is using Early's as a thoroughfare. So what if Early should decide now that, listen, I am gonna put a gate on my entrance there from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Yes, the then representatives know. He promised that he will look into it, and this is right now. There's a chain across it.
Yep.
And that would alleviate the traffic going through Early, because you just go down Bimmy and come right at the side of the pharmacy.
Yeah. Well, I feel you. And unfortunately, because of traffic management being as poor as it is, people are looking for alternative ways in order to be able to do this. And it's just crazy. He got disconnected. I'm not sure what happened there. All right. 9362626 is indeed the telephone number. So yeah, it is a private road. And, what can I tell you? Except that they have a right to be able to do what they need to do with their private road. I tell you what, I don't know if you can see in this picture, kind of in the background, that looks like is that a green patch or a pothole? I need to go down there today. So anytime they have a pothole, a green patch, or whatever, I can tell you that they're responsible for fixing it. The homeowners, I'm assuming they have a homeowners association, as most of them do. And so they got to pool money into the little kitty to get it repaired. And so they did issue a notice that said, please be advised, effective tomorrow, which is today, Wednesday, September the 10th, the gates at Patrick's Island will be closed to all traffic moving forward. There'll be a policeman at the top of the road from early tomorrow morning and a security guard at the gate to advise people as well. We kindly ask that you take note of this change and make any necessary adjustments to your travel routes. Your cooperation is appreciated. Patrick Island Community. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
Good, thanks. I live right here by Patrick Islands.
Yes.
But I have a neighbor that lives in Coconut Village.
Mm-hmm.
Her son was stranded this morning because the bus that usually picks him up for Cypec was turned back, and this is usually where the bus traverse. However, my concern is with the roads being closed, because I live right by here, so I see school buses driving past. With the roads with the gates being closed, I was hoping that at least the buses would have gotten like new instructions to route, and children also get new instruction for pickup, because if they live here by Coconut Village, now it means that the walk to the next main road would be all the way up to the seat of the You see what I mean? So at least that should have been communicated. So the kids just don't know where to go, if you get what I mean. But then my son told me that they would have had to get picked up out by the kitchen next to Macross. You see, so that's kind of confusing. But my son was fine. He walked through the gates, and I don't see them bothering pedestrians, people who normally go for their regular walks. They're getting through fine. It's really just the traffic. And I understand, because obviously these people purchase land and houses here with the expectations of a gated community, because everything that is listed here is listed as a gated community. So it's their right. But like I said, in regards to students and the school buses, it just looks weird seeing the school buses having had to reverse to get back up to the main road, because this road here by Poindexter is very narrow, right? So that's really what took place this morning. But so far, I'm here at the gates. It looks very quiet. People are cooperating. No animosity. It's going smoothly. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, my dear. Thanks. You too. So it sounds like the buses themselves were not prepared for this. Now, the one sort of criticism I would make is I would say that I think that they should have given a little bit more notice. Like I said, I knew it was coming. I had heard about it. But, you forget about these things. I mean, I'm not part of the Patrick Island community, so I wouldn't have remembered this. So I think that they could have done us all a favor and said, hey, last week even, as a little reminder that this change is coming. And so with this change coming, please prepare yourselves accordingly. I saw someone calling on the WhatsApp. Let's give them a call back. So I do believe that could have been more, the notice period could have been longer, if you will. And so, all of you other communities who are out there thinking about doing the same thing, please keep in mind that it would be very, just a courtesy reminder well in advance would be nice. So even a week in advance could have given the Department of Education Services, because, school just started back, this could have given them an opportunity to try to sort out their routes and stuff like that. So it is interesting, though, that they are actually going through, from what I'm understanding you guys saying, that they are actually going through the, essentially, they're going through the, what do you call it? The community as well, the gated community, buses. Wow. Well, probably more of an argument in favor of why they had to do it. They're like, listen, we're sick and tired of y'all. Buses and all coming through. It is a nice area to walk. I see people, the occasions that I've had to go down in there, I do see people walking in the area as well. But again, that's why you kind of want to restrict access, because as the first caller said, some of y'all be walking like you're, bat out of hell. It's crazy what y'all will be up to. So you gotta take it easy, man. The traffic congestion and the manner in which you guys really traverse the roadway is ridiculous. And it makes it so much worse for these communities that are, they're selling themselves as, oh, we're a quiet community, we're this, we're that. And then you have all this ridiculous traffic coming through that causes it to be chaotic and not quiet at all. We've got another caller joining us this morning. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Good morning, Denny. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
So this discussion about the roads is just another example of how government just can't manage things properly.
Okay, how is this government's
fault? I remember when, most of the things are government's fault.
Most of the things we blame government for, but that does not necessarily mean it's their fault.
No, let me give you an example. Remember when they were going to do the bypass there by Harkwell to go towards the Harkwell from A.L. Thompson?
Okay.
You might have been in the U.S. at that time. I'm not sure.
No, they actually built that since I've been here. Yeah.
Okay.
Been here a hot minute now,
Oh, you must be getting old.
Yes, that's an irrefutable truth.
So they started out when it was I think it was like 15 million to do it. And of course, government's not going to do it for 15 million. So they waited until it was 75 million before they did it. And the same is true with the East-West Arterial. It was gazetted unanimously, to do the East-West Arterial. And then it took 25 or something years, 17 years before they started it. So everybody agreed we needed it, but they did it 17 years later.
I doubt everybody agreed we needed it, but go on.
No, it was unanimous in the House.
Oh, you mean at the time 14 people agreed that we needed it? Not everybody in the community. Okay.
No. The House agreed.
Okay, all right. Well, even so, having said that, there will be people in the community who will kick up a reason for every single foot forward. You know?
And then those same people will complain that they can't get to work in the morning.
Yes, well, that's true.
Right. But this is an example of how government did a poor job of providing the necessary infrastructure for us to for transportation purposes. And so we're limited, and then to compound the problem now is that you have the developments that have taken place now make it extremely difficult now to find a way around those communities in order to have an alternate route. Right? Because going through the communities, well, if you want to buy up those neighborhoods, that would be extremely expensive. Right? So that's not even practical. But then I hear one of your comments was that buses is going through the Patrick Island. Well, I would imagine that people would have children who live in Patrick Island. And I would imagine that buses would need to get through there to pick up the children. So I don't see why a bus going through the neighborhood would be an issue. I mean, I think that's how it's supposed to function. And in addition to that, there are many people who are crying, saying that busing children should be mandatory. Well, if you make it mandatory, then you're not going to be able to close the gates, or you're going to have some reliable way of letting the buses through so that you don't cause delays. I'm just saying that how smoothly things run on the road has to do with how the roads are designed. And the foolishness of people cutting through neighborhoods to try to get 30 seconds off of their time, that is foolishness. If everyone just lined up behind each other, the traffic would flow much simpler, much smoother. But trying to cut through a neighborhood and then the whole line of traffic has to stop to let you out in front because you think you want to get one or two car lengths in front of somebody, that is stupidity. It's really foolishness. The amount of time you save is simply not worth it. However, we do need alternate routes to transportation. It's not that people's concerns are illegitimate, because you need to get to work on time, otherwise you're going to lose your job. Right? So that's a legitimate concern. But that brings me back to the original point. Who's going to build the public roads? Well, that's government. The government's trying to do the east-west arterial, and some people are doing their best to try to stop it. Now, I mean, I don't know. I just think that it's really sad how there are people for really foolish reasons trying to stop something that is absolutely necessary. They believe that what should happen is that we should stop the building of those roads so that you can force the development that's happening in the country to stop, and that the population should decline. Do you know how much debt the Cayman Islands have? You know, if the population declines, you know that our debt burden will be higher per person. So what will actually happen is that the cost of living would go up. I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't bring the debt under control, but you don't want to do it in these blunt ways by saying, no, you can't have a road, so that you force a crisis to happen. What needs to actually happen is we need to sit down as a country and have a civilized conversation about what we ought to be doing in the country, and do it in a more controlled way. Because once things start to spin out of control, usually countries don't regain that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's my piece on the roads. I think governments just typically do a poor job of being proactive and providing it's because we don't have a real plan as to how we're going to develop the islands.
Right.
If you had a look at DART's development, that's a 50-year plan. It's not
at
like
least
he's not like he's getting up and he's saying, well, should we put a road here?
Yep.
That's not
and
what's happening.
From, let me just be clear, from day one, people can say whatever they want about the DART organization, but from day one, they have had a master plan. I remember seeing it from when their head office was in Merco Center. That tells you how long ago that was. Right. So this would have been the late 90s, I think. But they, it was like a huge 40, 50-year plan. And then they have it kind of like in phases of, okay, around, 2015, we want to do this. Around 2020, we got a vision for this building. So I think it's called a, and they get it approved in principle. I think it's called a PAD or something.
Yeah.
And then they, for each individual building, then obviously they have to go back to planning and then submit all the elements for that specific part of it. So yeah, they've got a master plan that is multi-generational. So maybe our so-called government planners could sit down with the experts over at the DART organization and take some lessons and learn how to do master planning. I mean, well, I'm assuming we have planners hired in government. I don't even know that we do.
Yeah, listen. What the biggest problem is the politicians.
Yeah,
and this is why this discussion about politicians and real estate is important, right? Because what happens sometimes isn't necessarily in the interest of us building up the country in a way that once the country is built as much as we could build it, it'll actually still work because we planned it to work.
Yeah.
And this is the frustration that I'm expressing right now about how politicians in a very haphazard way and an opportunistic way, sometimes for their own financial benefit, will do things that then end up causing the country to experience untold amounts of frustration on a daily basis. And traffic is one of those issues. So the problem is that you're not going to get politicians to just wake up one day and just do the right thing. What unfortunately needs to happen is we need to have a society that is aware of what needs to be done. So we're talking about an education program. And then on top of that, people need to have the courage to participate in that discussion. And they need to understand that they are the ones that are responsible for communicating with government about what we would like to see the country look like. It's not the other way around, right? The country is not a company that has the right to do whatever it wants to do and then just too bad for us. It's the reverse. And so we are supposed to be telling government what we would like to see. But in the discussion, we need to really sometimes really think about what it is we're saying. Because sometimes I hear people say some things about what they want, and I wonder if they've given one second thought to the consequences of that position. And, we just need to do a better job all around is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Anyhow.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
All right. 936-2626. I mean, I don't disagree with him that we need to do a better overall job with city planning, community planning, road works planning, the whole 9 yards. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sandra. I missed you so much. I said I haven't called you for so long. I better call you today.
So good. Well, so good to see you.
Yeah, so good and so now. Well, I just rejoined you when Danny was speaking, and that's a very broad topic, which I think, frankly, I personally would like to see more people come out and tell government what they want and that kind of thing. I just tend to feel that a lot of times people think government is going to do the right thing and don't get into the details, and the government ends up doing certain things which ultimately does not suit them. And I think the current immigration debate, which has died down a little bit at the moment, I think is one of those. But I guess it will restart like once we see the bill, which I'm looking forward to. But that said, maybe I can break something which could possibly be news to you. Possibly be news.
Oh.
You know that you know that there's been an arrest warrant issued in Cayman against me.
Oh. I did not know. Okay. What for?
Well, basically, it's a dispute that I had in my strata, and the lady there went to the police and said, because according to her, I sent her some rude email. So she says I'm stalking her.
You don't even live in Cayman. How can you stalk? Well, I mean, I guess technically you could, but
yeah, it's technically could. But anyway, the real story is this. This lady was a member of the strata committee, and I fell into arrears with some strata fees, and I think you reported part of the story, and the other paper also reported part of the story. Mm-hmm. So she went to court to try and sell my apartment. I resisted that, and the court said, no, you've got no power to sell the apartment. Now, that's when the band started playing, because having failed to get a court order to sell my apartment, she now takes it upon herself to try and sell my apartment using extra legal means. So she gets a surveyor, a named surveyor, who goes to my apartment, trespasses on my apartment, peeking inside and taking measurements from outside, because I didn't allow them to go inside because I got tenants in there. So what does she do? After she gets that valuation, she gets this surveyor to send it to me and to say, this is what we've valued your apartment to be. In fact, the valuation is even probably about 100,000, 75 to 100,000 less. I think she was trying to sell it off at a profit. So then what she did then, all the legal expenses that she was getting from the lawyer, she started now putting it on my monthly statement of accounts. So I told her, I said, look, don't put it on my monthly statement of accounts. You owe me some costs. I owe you some costs. We have to go to court, have them assessed, and then we can see how to do the set-off. Costs do not apply automatically. You can't just go and engage a lawyer to try and sell my apartment, and then you charge me those costs and you put them on my feet. That's annoying. She didn't stop doing that. She continued doing that for 18 months. And then at the end of that, I got so fed up. Every time she sent me a bill, I would give her some choice words. Every time she sends me a bill, I gave her some choice words. So she took those choice words to the police, and she said, I want him arrested. And so they issued an arrest warrant for me. They never even spoke to me to find out exactly what is your side of the story. Because normally in stories of this nature, you see, Sandra, if you are...
This sounds like a civil matter to me, but go on.
Yes. You see, there are certain cases, for example, say some people are fighting. The police go there and they find them, they're fighting. There's no interview there. You arrest whoever appears to be fighting. Okay? But if it's one of these little matters where somebody's making an allegation of that kind and the person is not even around, you would normally call the person in to interview them, warn and caution them to say, we're investigating on this offense. What do you say? And then depending on what the person says and you record it, then you might decide to arrest them or decide not to arrest them. But I was told that actually this arrest warrant was being issued now. How did I know it was issued? because she has now gone to court. She says, in addition to that arrest warrant, she wants a protection order against me. Okay.
Wow. I mean, you must have the long arm of stalking all the way from Canada. My God.
From Canada. I mean, maybe I can get a chopper to come over, bypass immigration. Since immigration have all been told that when I arrive, there's a stop order.
I'm just curious about where she's from. Where is this Karen from?
She's a white British woman.
Okay.
So for me, look, I am sorry. I'm very slow to allege racism, but just try to think of it. Do you think that if she wasn't British, or if I was also British, you think they would have done like that? No. It is the same way they treat Caymanians. For you are very easy. They can come and arrest you. So anyway, so she has now applied for this protection order in addition to the arrest warrant. And so that application for the protection order, she went to court initially to see if she could get an ex parte protection order. For some of your listeners, an ex parte order is, where you give the order without talking to the other party, but the court refused. So she was forced now to serve it on me. So they served it on me. I have now done the affidavit and sent it back to them. And I'm basically claiming that it is a very frivolous suit. And I might wind up in a fight with Kurt Walton as well, because I do not think, not him personally, maybe. I don't see how you issue a warrant on an issue such as this, which is very vague, without first talking to me. But that's exactly where we are. But I'll tell you what I think. I don't think that these people even care about this British woman who I think she's got some probably narcissistic personality disorder. I think the issue is the government doesn't like some of the stuff I've been saying. So this is a good excuse. Does that remind you of any case? I don't know. Maybe it does.
Yeah, I've got about 6 of them, to be honest. It's starting to remind me of. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so that's the story. So the date of hearing hasn't been issued. The date of hearing is still to come, because I only sent in. I filed it online yesterday. It was confirmed filed. So I imagine it might come to 2 to 3 months. The other issue about it, which is very funny, right, is that this lady has now she has resigned from the committee because she had her apartment up for sale, and I think she has sold it. So she's no longer in charge of the account. So from May, I haven't communicated with her. So why do you apply for a protection order today? We were having a spat 4 months ago. And stalking is preventive, it's not punitive. Okay, so why are you coming for 4 months after? But you know the way it is. For some of us, it's easy for them to issue a warrant. But I mean, it doesn't worry me, because I'm ready to fight it. I'm a fighter, and I know. I've actually made a counterclaim against her, because under the law, it says if somebody brings a counterclaim against, does something like that, you can bring a counterclaim. My tenants were so worried. They refused, in fact, to sign a long-term lease, and now they've left because of this same interference. Last thing before I let you go. What she did as well, when she failed to get the court order, one of the other things she did, she went to the other members of the Strata committee and said, "Can you sign this authorization to sell this number's apartment?"
Oh my gosh!
And they said, "Well," and then they said, "Well, but we can't do that." So one of them contacted me. I said, "But why is she telling you that? There is a court case which says that she had no power to sell." So I sent it to the lady. So the lady said, "Well, but then why are they asking us to sign?"
Oh
and you know what she said to them? She said, if you don't sign, you could incur legal liability. This is a British lawyer and a British client trying to tell a Jamaican who lives in my place, because you think he's Jamaican, she's stupid. She just said, "No, I'm not going to sign." In other words, they tried all kinds of ruses to try and do that. So anyway, that is the story.
And yet another reason why I can't stand Stratas. Thanks for the reminder. If I was ever tempted to buy another apartment anywhere, you just reminded me of why when I sold my last one, I said, never again. Oh my God, these Strata committees, and they're only as good as the people on them. And unfortunately, the people on them are oftentimes, just horrible people.
Yeah,
I've seen some stuff that is just, oh my God, unbelievable.
This particular lady, you see, the problem is that even when certain, in fact, that's not the only time she tried to sell Strata. Mine is number 8. There used to be a number 2.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lady who was in number 2. She got sick for a little while. She fell into arrears a little bit. She signed, she sent around an email that we are going to sell number 2 coming. It's like every time when somebody falls in arrears, for her, it's to sell. And I think she's been working with some predatory people. So what they do is
probably one of those politicians who are entering into real estate.
Anyway, thanks for the time, Sandra. One of those. By the way, Sandra, it's a pity I don't watch you live because I'm too busy writing. I'm writing a book called Statutory Interpretation in the Commonwealth Caribbean. So usually I watch you in the afternoon. But I really liked the one that you did among many others. The one about these guys going to Century 21 and this and that. Yeah, you see, I mean, there is nothing legally wrong, as you were saying, but it raises a lot of eyebrows. Okay?
Yeah, look at, for example, the risk is enormous, really.
Yeah, you remember that Kenneth Bryan was trying to help people, and I worked with him a little bit when he was in the backbench to try and change the law on mortgages to better protect people. Now that he's in Century 21, what are we supposed to think?
Soon to be. He's only passed one exam, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not quite there yet. One toe in.
He's not quite there.
Not fully in.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't say that there is necessarily something untoward, but you start asking the question, will he continue while working for Century 21, where he could make money from some of these sales of these properties? Will that change his position regarding his desire to protect people who have got no mortgage properties? So I thought that was a very good program. But with Sir Alden, I find... You see, normally when you've reached that kind of status, right? You are a KC, and you are knighted, and you are a lawyer. I thought
it's weird that he even wants to do it.
It's a little weird, I mean, I would have thought maybe he would have been more on the lawyerly side, that he's just a lawyer who does the agreements and so on and so forth. I found that rather odd. But these are the questions we ask. And I like another point you made in that show, which was that should there be a cooling off time? Like I think in the States, there is something about if you've been a congressperson, like I don't think you can be a lobbyist within 2 years or something like that, Now, I don't know if those things really have an effect, but at least, you can try to do something like that so that people don't appear to go straight from government to go and do something which maybe they were fighting for or against, and then it starts to look as if they were dishonest from the very beginning. Otherwise, Sandra, thank you very much for your time. You have a nice day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to hear your voice. Haven't heard you in a minute. So, wow, arrest warrant. So let me ask you a question. When you're overseas, this is a technical question. How do they affect an arrest warrant since you're not even in the jurisdiction?
Well, those are the issues, because that's why the way they have done it is, I mean, this is not an extraditable offense to begin with, so... But what they have done is they have done a stop order so that anytime I come to Cayman, all immigration now have been told that anytime I come in, I'm supposed to be arrested.
Oh, my God. That's a bit much. And, I've told the RCIPS before, I think they can be very heavy-handed with ridiculousness. It's not like you're some gang leader that they need to arrest you at the airport. Listen, I've told them next time they need to arrest me, which I'm sure there'll be next time knowing their track record, there's absolutely no reason to come and arrest me. Just call me on the phone, send me an email, and just say, come into the station, and I will come in with my lawyer. They go overboard. Anyway.
Well, by the way, the other thing that you covered a few shows ago, that young man, it's unfair what happened to the young 17-year-old young man now who is now being charged.
Yes. Have you ever heard of such a charge in your life?
inconsiderate driving. You know, inconsiderate driving. I know you displayed the definition of inconsiderate driving. I mean, even splashing people with water when you drive, that is inconsiderate driving. How many people have they arrested for that? But I think, like somebody, I think it was Danny who said the reason they want to do that is because they know that they may be liable to damages for wrongful arrest.
That's right. So they're trying to cover their proverbial rear end.
But that's wrong. They should do the right thing. Public lawyers are not like private sector lawyers who will do anything so because you're private. Public lawyers, what they should do is, if they know that they are wrong, if anything, they should say, okay, we were wrong about this. Can we settle it on a small amount of money? You know.
And I mean, I think the family would be open to a public apology and a little bit of money. I'm sure they're not looking for millions. But anyway, this is ridiculousness. Thank you so much, Baliki. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, my dear. Bye-bye. I have noticed, by the way, that my screen, every other comment that I put up, the screen, the camera's turning off and on. I don't know what's going on there. It just started this morning, but I do see it. So I'll try to figure out what that's all about. But we've got another call in the line and well over 400 people tuned in online and countless more on the radio. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hello, Miss Cricket Lady.
Oh, they've been tying me out.
They've been wearing you out. They're playing hard.
No, I said they've been tying me out. Hasn't been in the cricket.
Oh, there hasn't been. Oh.
No, during the World Cup qualifiers. So.
Okay. Cricket actually has a World Cup? No, football. Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, but cricket has World Cup also.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, cricket has 2 categories of World Cup. They have the one day and they have the 2020.
Explain to me, I've always wondered, what does 2020 stand for? Is that like 20 days of playing cricket?
No, it means it's 20 overs per side. Normally a one-day match would be 50 overs per side or per inning.
Would be how many overs is one day?
Well, that would be 100 overs in one day. That's a one-day match.
And what is an over? Is that every time they hit the ball?
No, an over is, when the bowler takes the ball, that's considered the beginning of an over. And you have 6 balls in an over. So once 6 legal balls have been delivered, that's an over. Of course, you can have a no ball and so on, which means you have to reload. And so that's why I said 6 legal balls.
Okay.
You could end up bowling 10 balls, but only 6 are legal. So until it's 6 legal, then it's an over completed. And no baller wants to do a no ball because obviously the batting team gets the point. Then you have to re-bowl, and of course it's like an extra chance, and you could get for a 6 or something like that. Anyway, you should get your husband to sit you down.
I know he doesn't really. He doesn't. I'll be honest with you. He. I think they used to be really big in cricket. I think his dad used to play, but he doesn't watch. He just doesn't have any time. But he doesn't watch any cricket or anything like that anymore. So, yeah. But anyway, all right.
Well, this might surprise a lot of people, but internationally, cricket is the biggest game apart from football.
I can see it. I mean, because, a lot of countries like India are really big with cricket.
Well,
and obviously, they have a huge population as well.
Yeah, it's played in all of the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah, yes.
Well, you know what? America is now playing cricket.
Really? Go figure. All right. I know you didn't call to talk to me about cricket, but I know that's your favorite pastime. So
I don't mind talking about cricket.
What else is on your mind today?
Well, I am going to deal with the second thing first. I was listening to your previous caller, and I can't stop burping, should I say, of the ridiculousness of this whole thing. To think that someone is going to go and get a lawyer on you, and then they want you to pay the charges. Now, you see, that is where I would have had not a few, but a lot of choice words for her. And I wouldn't have sent them. I would have brought them. Anyway, and I mean, thank God he's a lawyer. He is a good lawyer and he knows his rights. And you can't force someone to pay costs until that matter is settled in court. The judge is the one who decides who's going to pay costs. And as you know, Sandra, the person on the losing end is who's going to pay the cost.
Oh, yeah.
Unless there is a settlement between the two parties.
Yes. And you know what I'm curious about with that situation is I'm sure she wasn't paying that herself. She probably had the strata paying for those in a frivolous matter such as that. She should be the one to reimburse the strata. And I don't know how much these stratas are paying attention to who they have running the show, but they better.
Or perhaps there were no money changing hands. She may have had a lawyer friend doing all of this stuff for her. Because don't forget, they're like, anyway, let me not go there this morning. It might be an arrest warrant for me too.
I know. We are getting to the point where, my gosh, you get arrested for just about anything.
Well, I think that's coming soon. Anyway, yeah, not by our government, but you got neighbors that will do it to us.
Yeah, so sad.
But the other thing with this private residential area, I would like to say this. Every one of us that purchased a piece of land, went to the bank and got a mortgage. It was also our intention to be living in a private residential area. But the laws only apply when your house is valued at like $5 million. And depending on the area of Cayman, it's built in. When the other residential areas are having serious problems, nothing is done. If the police turn up, you might be happy. Okay? Or lucky, should I say. And then the powers that be will tell you, oh, but they can't do anything about it because it falls on the disc. This one they can't do anything about it because the person on the inside is friends with the person and blah, 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 blah. So let me just say, this is just another method of segregation and snobbish behavior. The island is overrun. They're overpopulated. There are too many vehicles on this island. The whole bus system. I have said for a few years, first of all, these bus companies have contracts with the government. And I think that part of that contract should be that you have to provide proper bus shelters for the students. Children are being picked up on the driveway of other people's homes. I have seen this. I have witnessed this many, many times. And I keep saying, but what happens if that person say, no, you can't wait here anymore? And these are on the main roads. And I also think to myself, what happens the day that a parent is not here waiting with these children and a pedophile comes up and snatches one of them? Because sometimes it's only one child waiting, a female, okay? And then what happens when there's a crazy driver comes speeding through and runs over the child and doesn't bother to stop? It faces so many different dangers. So I think driving through a private residence is the least of the worries. And let me just say, they can afford to do that because their children don't attend public schools. The bus don't pick them up, okay? So this is the kind of stuff that just rubs me the very wrong way that is happening in our country. So all residential areas should then be gated. Come and put a gate on mine. I will let the ambulance in and the fire truck. Anybody else that wants to get in, then you'll have to have a code or know who you're coming to and have them let you in. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander. My house didn't cost me $5 million, but you know what? It's worth to me more than $5 million because it's my home. I have buses that drive through my development,
But when you, just to be clear, when you purchased your home where you are, you didn't have a covenant that said this is a private gated community.
Oh, well, you know what? Thank you so much for reminding me.
It's a public road.
Hold on. I didn't purchase my home. I purchased the land.
Yes.
My house.
Yes. And but yes, the roads and everything you've always known were public.
Hold on. And yes, there is a covenant. And like I said, thank you so much for reminding me. Because when we have now complained about all of the rules in that covenant that have been broken and that were broken in the past, you know what we were told? Oh, we can't act on that. I said, why? Is it because we don't live in this area or that area? I said, first of all, no planning permission should be granted to anyone because obviously we've had resales. I said, without you looking at the covenant and seeing what the covenant says. So you then approve the plan according to the covenant as well. And then when we see people trying to slip through the cracks, then I have called. I know others have come to me and said, have you seen this and so and so? And then we're told by planning, they can't do anything about it. I said, why? If it was me, I'm sure you would have told me I had to tear it down, or you'd have told me, no, you can't get permission to do this. But as I said, I will keep saying this, it all depends on where you reside, okay?
Well, I mean, if it's private road, it's a private road. Now, I do know that if you have land covenants, then the developer.
A residential development, that's a private road. And so I say again, if what is private, then they all are. If what is going to be gated, and I don't care who's paying for it, then all should be gated. Because we certainly could gate ours too. But you see, we are not snobs. We are Caymanians. People come to visit people. There could be emergencies. And the very person that wanted it gated, they might be the ones having a heart attack. They need to think about that. And if I were the ambulance or the fire truck and I got to a gated community, I would turn around.
All right, my dear. Thanks very much. 936-2626. I mean, I think a lot of people, when they get into communities, they have covenants for the area and the land, but I don't think those are private communities. I do believe there's actually a difference. And the roads are certainly not private. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, honey child. How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored beyond all measures.
So wonderful to hear.
Now, I have a grave concern and I'm seeking your help with it. And regarding these incompetent police officers. Yesterday, I was driving down on Maxie Lane. I saw PC Burke drove in Maxie Lane. We actually let her in. And there was a truck parked on the sidewalk on one side and a car on the sidewalk on the other side. Now she was going to the school. Down on the school and the Grescott and the corner of between Grescott and the corner of Rock Hole, you had 3 vehicles parked in road space, right? I took photo of a lady crossing these derelict vehicles. These parked vehicles into the road to get around the vehicle because they're parked in road space where the pedestrians are supposed to walk. I just went back there again this morning, saw the same issue, saw 2 police officers this time, one that I thought that was reputable and just somebody that could use their discretion and apply the law. He's going to tell me it's not in school zone, number 1. Number 2, there's no yellow line. There's no parking sign. Even though the vehicle is parked in pedestrian road space. for pedestrians, right? Now, sir, could you, since you don't have no teeth or grounds to ticket this person, how about calling them and asking them to remove it because it is bringing, it can cause danger to a child or people walking around these vehicles into the street, right? He said, well, he would have to tell everybody else along the road to do the same thing. I said, well, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. You understand? And he refused to. He basically refused to. He says, well, when they come to the school, that they're going from the state, they're scheduled to go to the school. Okay, as a sensible officer, bear in mind, we are paying your salaries. Now, let me ask a question. If you are designated to go from point A to point B, and you see something happening along the road, what is your duty? What is your duty? Is it your duty to, if you need to go to somewhere that even if it's an emergency, whether it's an emergency or not, if you are designated to go somewhere and you see something that is wrong, a tickable offense or something that is wrong, shouldn't you call traffic? Traffic, I just saw this and it's located such and such a place. Could you please come and deal with this because it's an offense? As an officer of the law, you all need to remember that the people of these islands are paying you all salaries. And that's why I am so upset to see and to learn that they went and got a bigger budget and they're not performing. They are not performing. They're not doing their duties. And as soon as you speak out, they want to get offended and they want to target you. Yesterday, after I took those photos, I took a photo of the officer standing around doing nothing at the Marie Martin Primary School. While all of those traffic, and I sent you the photos, all of those traffic violations is going on the outskirts. You have children walking to school, and that's putting the children in danger, have to walk around these vehicles into the road to get to school. And she's there yapping, and no attention to the surroundings, right? Now, she was talking to a student when the photo was taken. The photo was taken from across the street. This morning, when I went back, she had the student parent come to me and ask me why did I took photo of his child. I said, sir, can you make out that that's your child? Everybody's calling him. I said, everybody, like the beat officer, like the police officer is calling you. I said, what you need to do is tell the police officer to do her job to protect your child. Not only your child, other children that are coming to school. That's what she needs to do. Because then she tends to neglect, and she's one of them that turns a blind eye to issues. So, okay, if they're leaving from the central station, going to a beat where they're assigned to, and see somebody shoot somebody, they can continue on that same beat and go to what they're assigned to instead of stopping, assisting, and calling it. Help it make sense. How does that make sense? Huh? So they can turn a blind eye to the person shooting to the shooter, to the fight that is happening on the side of the road because then they're designated to go to Marie Martin Primary School. Any officer would be proactive or should be proactive and say, okay, let me call for backup or let me call someone to come and assist with this issue. Even if you were assigned to go a certain place and had to be a certain, our officers is so backward. And if Commissioner Kirk Walton do open his eyes and see which matter of fact, he is a part of the problem, to be honest, right now. Because he's been in this force for years. He knows who is capable of doing their job and who's getting their job done. And he knows those that are skylacking and those that are turning a blind eye. But at the end of the day, they're all covering for one another. That's what police do, cover for one another. Instead of making these islands safe, instead of getting the job done, right? They're in cahoots with one another and covering up for one another. It's the same issue with PSU. What is the reason for the PSU, Professional Standards Union? They act as police, investigating police, and you get nowhere. Nowhere whatsoever. But anyway, my appeal to you is, is how best can we sort this problem out by Georgetown Primary School, because you don't see this happening in Prospect Primary School. You don't see this parking violations happening at any other school apart from Marie Martin Primary School. The children at Marie Martin Primary School lives don't valid, is not valid. They don't, it doesn't worth anything. Really? What kind of officers we have on this force? What kind of officers are the people of the Cayman Islands trained? It is so annoying to see that.
Well, I mean, maybe they just, yeah, I think maybe they just need to have someone dedicated to traffic enforcement. And I'm going to nominate you for the job. In fact, perhaps you can, be the one to step up to the plate, honey child. But anyway, we do have another caller on the line. So let me grab the other caller. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, my darling.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Man, I can't say
my poor screen is flickering back and forth when I change messages. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, other than that, I'm good. Sorry.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I think the callers can hear you as the listeners, sorry, can hear you as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit late to class today.
Yes.
But, I wanted to pick your mind about this whole Patrick's Island gated community thing, right?
Caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, I heard a sigh and then a long pause. So I don't know if you were contemplating your position.
You didn't hear anything I said?
Yeah, I heard a sigh and then a pause. After you said that you were thinking about this private Patrick Island thing.
I just had a thought.
Okay.
I mean, today it's Patrick's Island. Tomorrow it could be Prospect. Next thing it could be South Sound. Like, are we sleepwalking into a Cayman where every road has a gate?
Well, a lot of the roads are not eligible. So I think, to be fair to these communities, and by the way, a member of the community said that the buses were notified like a week ago, and then they got a reminder call this morning. So they have had notice. Doesn't seem that they were particularly organized, but let us understand so that we keep the conversation in proper context here, right? There are private developments and private roads in Cayman. They are set up that way from the very get-go, from planning. The developers, set it up that way. And major roads and major through, as they call them, are not eligible to be a private road. So no, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and have South Sound be a private road. In fact, when I was traveling to Tampa last year, I hadn't been to Tampa in a hot minute. One of the observations I made, which I actually thought was a great idea, and they should probably implement it here in Cayman, is all private roads have a separate sign color than the non-private roads. So when you're driving down Van Dyke, for example, there are roads off of Van Dyke that are actually private roads. Some of them do lead into, private developments. I'm going to try and see if I can find this picture, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, this makes it easy to actually identify that a road is private versus public. It'll say it, and then it is also color coded so that everyone knows the color coding. If you see this particular color coding, then it means that the road is actually a private road. So I don't think we're talking about expansions here of private roads versus, non-private roads. I think what this is private developments that have always been private because of the encroachment of traffic and just people coming through their neighborhoods that don't live there. They have no business using their private road because, like I said, they're responsible for the wear and tear on those roads. You can live in an area. So you can live in North Sound Estates. That road is not private. That is a government road. So that's a public road. So yes, they can't block off North Sound Estates and say that you can't go through there. However, the neighborhood just 2 trips from North Sound Estates, which is Sunset, what's it called? Sunrise Landing. Is that Sunrise? All the way in the back there. That's a private community. And they may not have had gates up, because I find that what happens a lot is people build these communities and they're private, but they don't initially put up the gate. Normally the gate is the last thing to have been done. And sometimes they go 20 years, like Patrick's Island. I don't even know how long Patrick's Island's been around, but they go forever, and they don't actually put the gate up until a time like this, when they've simply had enough. And then it causes all sorts of unnecessary controversy. I say put up your gate from day one, honey child. Save yourself the trouble.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, those roads, the little inroads in Patrick's Island, those have always been private roads.
Yeah, it's always been a private road.
Oh, so when they get damaged, government doesn't repair them?
Nope, they do not.
Oh, I see.
And like I said, this is where the confusion's coming in for people, because people assume differently, and that simply isn't the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the pictures from last year, my little Tampa trip, because I did take this was August of last year, but yeah, I mean, I did take some pictures because I thought, this is actually, color coding it is a fantastic idea. Because right away you look at the sign and based on that what it is,
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I agree. I mean, if you have a private community and you put up a gate, safety, you want to enjoy the quiet and tranquility. You can't really enjoy that if cars are passing through all the time of a community and that kind of thing. I suppose, not having known what you just said to me just now, I was thinking more along the lines of, what is this telling us about the future of Cayman? But
right. And I mean, there are some people who, obviously Miss Brenda had that opinion that, every road in Cayman is private. Actually, legally, every road in Cayman is not private. There is a difference. And so, yes, you've got to,
wait a minute, I'm confused. No. Every road in Cayman is not private.
That's what she was saying, but that's actually not correct. But that's her opinion, and she's entitled to her opinion.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying.
I appreciate it. 936-2626 is the telephone number. I'm still trying to go through my pictures here and find, oh Lord, sorry. This is iPhone trying to put a little movie together for me. I didn't want all that. All right, let me try to go back. I think I have to scroll all the way back to August of last year. Scrolling. Good morning, Carla. How you doing, honey chill?
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Hey, is this West Bay or Georgetown connection?
No. This is the Wild West.
The Wild West. Come on through, honey child. How you doing?
Listen, I remember what you saying and what Danny Warren was saying when you asked how he's doing. He said, pretty good.
Nice.
The last man that I said, he asked, how are you doing? I said, pretty good, sir. He said to me, I think you're a good man, but there's nothing pretty about you.
Oh, my goodness.
As usual, I'm not going to take up a lot of your time.
Yes. What's on your mind?
Right. I'm not just a listener to your show, but I pay attention to what you say.
That's so refreshing to hear that, to be honest. I love it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Overall, not just on your show, but the whole consensus of the Cayman Islands, analyzing what I see, it's becoming, shall I say, for the want of a better word, it's becoming like an ugly little place to be sometimes, There's so much and disagreements, and I wonder what's going to happen in another short 4 years of these people coming in here, intruding in here with their way of life. We were so small. We're not a big place. We are very small. It's not a continent. It's a very small island. I say that I'm concerned about what's going to be the way of life. There's no real control in traffic. The vehicles that are imported on a daily basis, it's like out of control. What do we do? Who do we go to? What is some of the answers?
Mm-hmm.
I think, which hopefully it'll be kicking off the ground pretty soon. Like other countries where you have civic councils, district councils that can have a better say in what goes on in this little tiny island.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not expecting the government to do it all, or those that are appointed to do it all. We need to have a community with the people, by the people.
Mm-hmm.
So just hang on a little bit more, and hopefully I'll get more information about that shortly for you. And God bless you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. You too. I appreciate it. So my apologies for whatever this tech issue is this morning. It's a bizarre one, but every other comment that goes on the screen, I disappear and I reappear. I disappear and I reappear. Bizarre. So someone asked an interesting question. Is the government responsible for their garbage collection? I'm pretty sure they are. So, Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandy. Hope the news is well.
Yes, my dear, it's coming along. I had a little bit of pain last night, and I was thinking that maybe it was the shoes that I wore yesterday. They had a little bit of elevation. And, you know, this goes to show you, honey child, that as women, we don't think closely enough about the shoes and how heels and all this. They're not good for your child. They be causing you all kind of pain. Yeah. So I iced it a little bit last night. I'll put a little bit more ice on it. I'm going to keep to my flats for a little bit longer. I mean, they weren't like high heels, but it had a bit more elevation that I had been used to. But anyway, yes, ma'am. What's on your mind?
So I wanted to find out. I live down Prospect Marina Drive, near where they does the boats and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, does the gate affect us residents as well, or?
I don't think so. I'm actually going to go down in there today because I do need to see exactly where it is. But I think it's at that entrance that says Patrick Island Private Road. And then I'm assuming on the other side is also another gate that closes it off.
Yeah.
So, but if you're down Marina Drive, like the boat's all the way at the end where the marina is, I don't think that would impact you.
Oh, okay. Because I live like right next to CGen, like right across from CGen, right where Lemon Breeze is.
Mm-hmm.
Further down in that lane of the area. Where the gate is where before you get to Prospect Primary. Is like before reaching to the school.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get to the school, you have to go through the gate. And if you can't go through the gate, then you're not going to be able to go through the school unless you take the main road, like the direct main road.
And the school being
Prospect
Primary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to drive through there today to kind of see.
Yeah, because my niece, she's attending to that school, and my grandfather, he takes that road from time we were children as well, because all of us went to Prospect Primary, and she's now going there. So I wonder now, with her being in that school, if it's going to affect pick up and drop off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was wondering if it affects us residents down here since we live near the gate.
Yeah. I mean, some questions. I'm not really 100% sure. But, you know, I do believe that it wouldn't impact you. But, you know, I guess if people don't live in that area, so they'll have to find an alternative.
Yeah, I guess I'll find out today when I go pick her up.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
What a hot mess. Keep us posted, my dear.
Oh, geez, I will.
I appreciate it. Thanks, hon. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, it's causing a little bit of confusion. So in relation to the garbage collectors, that was a good question, I thought. So I've been confirmed that they have a code to be able to get in. So they've been given a code. And the gates have an SOS system for first responders. They also have a PIN code in the event that the SOS fails. So let me just clarify. You EMT and people like fire, you notify them of your gate code. How do they keep track of all those for like each development though? Oh. Jim says when Patrick Island was developed, we didn't have the population and the amount of vehicles and traffic jams. Reason they have now decided to close off the roadway for all others except for residents who pay the strata fees. I mean, yes, I mean, obviously they're paying, housing fees and so forth. Anthony, I'm coming to you. Give me a minute because you are a hot mess this morning. Anthony says, if the caller knows the law, police cannot issue tickets unless in uniform. Well, that's true, I think, because then they're not even on duty, right? Everybody has citizen's arrest, but I don't think you want to fool with that when you're a police officer. Damien says, this is true. It's a private road and families live down there with children. The streets should have minimal traffic. Island Days says, if it's a private road, it is, i.e. not a road that government maintains, they can hate it off. Oh, I think you mean gate it off. Maybe hate it off too, but definitely gate it off. For anyone to say different is just plain delusional and over entitled, in their thinking. Nathan says, okay, if they're responsible for the maintenance or not, but it's a road and it's in the Cayman Islands, it's not like it's your own road. Look at the USA. People have homes where it's like quarter mile just for them to reach to the top of the road and the main road. Now that's one you would call a private road because it's your land, not the USA or the island. No, Nathan, it's a private road. The whole development does not belong to government. It's a private development. So the developers, again, when you first develop an area, you go to planning and you give them permission. It's like Cayman Bay. None of the roads in Cayman Bay are public roads, to be clear. So if one day Cayman Bay decided, well, for you guys to get to the gelato store, the cinema, we're going to close off those roads, they are entitled to do so. Now, obviously, because that is a commercial space, the purpose for that development is totally different. I don't foresee that happening, but they could, just like how they're having to police all of the kids now, because once again, you people are allowing your children to go down there and run around like they have no behavior, right? They've said, okay, your children can no longer come here, underage children, without adult supervision. So private landowners, even if it's a space that is open to the public, have the legal right to lay down the law and say what the rules will be in terms of usage. It's the same thing with Foster's Food Fair. When that crazy lady went in there the other day trying to confront poor Woody and going off about how, this is a public space. That ain't no public space, any child. Private, Foster's is private. Okay? They own the space. You are invited in as a member of the public, and there's certain rules and behavior that you must adhere to. So when they say, nope, you can't come in here and smoke indoors, you can't drink indoors, you can't, what's the word, solicit from other customers, whatever, that is their rules, and they can set their rules. I remember one time I was, I can't remember if it was the Pasadena location or somewhere else, but I had the same sort of thing. Somebody came in with an attitude and whatever, and I said, you're free to leave because this is a private space. They tried to argue with me that a place that I'm paying rent for is that I allow the public to come into my business space, that they can come in and dictate and do what they want. I said, no, Bobo, you're not paying the rent up. And yeah, let's be very, very clear. Every month I need to find rent money to pay the rent. This space is actually private. but you can open up private spaces to the public with restrictions. So you can come in here and do certain things. And then there are other things that I wouldn't allow you to do. And you're going to have to, as they say, love it or lump it. I don't really care. But boy, some people, they come in there with an attitude and they want to tell you what to do with your private place. And that's not how it works. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again.
Yes, ma'am.
Just in case I misspoke,
Mm-hmm.
what I meant to say was all residential neighborhoods or developments, whatever you want to call them, they could be deemed to be private as well, because they're all private dwellings built in there. You have been in my development where I live. It's very small. It's a horseshoe. It's not a public road with access to any other road. You have to come off of the main road, turn in here, and you drive around, unless you turn in my driveway and go back out. So when I said, if that be the case with Patrick's Island, then it could be the case with any other development. And
no, but it actually has to be designated as a private road, and your road is not designated as a private road.
Under the law.
No, ma'am. I'm going to have to disagree with you.
That's okay. Under the law, when you purchase property, depending on where it is purchased, it's already zoned as high density residential, or it's zoned as agricultural land or industrial or whatever. And I am telling you that depending on where it is, people have no respect for it. There was not too long ago, someone was looking to purchase a piece of land in an area very close to me for industrial purposes. And I said, hell no. This is a residential area, and it will only be residential. No one is coming in here to set up anything industrial. We had that problem before with a person whose family had bought property in here, and they had all sorts of things going on. And we fought that, we spoke about that, we complained, and nothing was done. Right now, for me to get anything done in my area, I have to call Minister J.E. Banks. He is the only one that responds and the only one that asks.
Well, the fact that you even have to call him means that that's a public road.
No, I say that to say he is the only one that will take the calls and will see what the problem is and do something about it. Others could do it too. That's why we have departments. That's why we have all these arms of government. That's why we elect the representatives. Okay? I shouldn't have to go to Minister J. He is the representative for Northside, although he is a minister with certain portfolios. I'm just saying. And like I said, you've been in my area, and you know that could easily be gated off.
No, but whether or not it can be easily gated off is one thing, but it's not a private road.
You can't turn in here and exit on any other main road. You have to go around and go right back out where you came in.
Yeah, but that's not how you define a private road. You do understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know that. I understand that.
Yeah.
And what I was also going to say is that we, the property owners down in here, we bought the land. It wasn't like a developer built these houses and then we bought them from that developer. The developer sold us the land with covenants, right? None of those covenants are being respected or adhered to by planning and by some of the residents themselves. So every time that there's been a problem and we have complained and we've asked for assistance, we've not gotten any. I could go on about this, but I didn't really call back to say that. I just wanted to say, I didn't say that all of them are private. I said, if that is the case, then all of us that spent our money to build houses, we expect to see privacy that Patrick's Island residents expect. But because we are different people, that is what the problem is. It shouldn't be allowed. Like I said, if it's good for one, it should be good for all. What I really call back to say, Sandra, I don't know if you are aware of this, and I'm sure maybe a lot of your listeners might be interested in hearing this, but this news broke yesterday concerning Esther. And
yes, I was gonna briefly mention it this morning. Yes, we did a story on it.
Yes.
What a mess.
I can't. Yes, it certainly is a mess, and
I can't keep up. It's minute by minute things change for the U.S. They were even stopping. Listen to this. A lot of Caymanians didn't know this, but last week they decided to stop blood at customs in the U.S. Like when we send off blood to the blood what do you call it now? Like the labs and stuff in the U.S.
Yeah.
They were stopping it and saying that they don't know if it's human blood. It could be animal blood. I was like, who the hell is going to be sending off animal blood samples to be tested for human diseases? The U.S. has just lost the plot, and it's impacting all of us. But anyway, go on, Chow.
They got what they voted for.
Well, yeah, we got it too. And we didn't vote for it.
And it's more to come. And
Jesus.
And for those that think it don't affect them, think again. Because all of these things are extending out to the Caribbean islands as well. And I imagine if it is now affecting the Caribbean islands, it's affecting other places in the world. I'll give you a fine example.
Okay, we do have a caller on the line, so make it a quick example
of how far this has gone. Many people who are not residents of the U.S. have had American Express cards. That now has been stopped.
Yeah.
If you are not a resident of the U.S., you can no longer have an American Express card. Okay? That's how far this has gone.
Yep. I don't doubt it. It's a mess.
But I'm telling you.
Yeah, I heard some mess about it, but all right, my dear, leave me there.
But update your listeners regarding Esther, because I'm sure it will affect a lot of them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Phone lines like the hotline bling today.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Can I take a moment to read about strata, private roads?
Well, I was actually having my personal AI paid assistant look it up for me so that I could actually talk about how a private road is defined. But you go ahead. You take the lead, honey child. I don't mind that.
Okay, a private road within a community governed by a strata title refers to a roadway that is owned and maintained by the strata corporation rather than a public authority. Said, in such communities, the strata title typically encompasses various properties such as apartments or townhouses and the common areas, which may include private roads, gardens, and recreational facilities.
Yeah.
Here are some key points about private roads and strata communities. Ownership and maintenance, which you have already spoken on. The strata corporation owns the private road and its maintenance is funded through the contributions of the lot owners. This means that the strata is responsible for repairs, upkeep, and any associated costs. Access and use. Access to the private road is typically restricted to residents and their guests. The strata may establish rules regarding the use of the road, including speed limits, parking regulations, and restrictions on commercial vehicles. Community control. Since the private road is part of the common property, the strata members have a say in its management and regulations. Decisions about the road are made collectively, often through meetings and votes. Legal implications. Private roads may have specific legal implications regarding liability, insurance, and rights of way. Residents should be aware of their rights and responsibilities concerning the road. Aesthetics and security benefits. Private roads can enhance the aesthetic appeal of a community and provide a sense of security as they are less accessible to the general public compared to public roads. In essence, private roads in strata communities serve as shared spaces that contribute to the overall functionality and atmosphere of the neighborhood, while also requiring cooperative management among residents.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope that was crystal clear.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
So yes, I mean, what can I tell you? The Traffic Act 2021 revision provides the most up-to-date statutory definition of a private road. So it has nothing to do with the design of your community. I mean, where I live, you only have one entrance in and out. At the end of that is a private gated community. Yeah. Their gates are broken, but still, you know, they can say you can't drive through here. They have to maintain their road. In fact, last year when government repaved our road, they went within like a foot of the private gated community and there were potholes there. They wouldn't touch it. Government said, no, that's the private community. That's on them to fix their own road. Tell them to go and call Island Paving to do it for them. Section 2 of the Act is very, very clear that private road means a privately owned road or open space to which the public does not have a right of access. Okay? So you don't have a right of access. They may have been granting you access. And to be clear, one of the other reasons that some of them are actually putting up gates now and closing off the right of access is if they continue to allow you to have a right of access over time, you could legally argue that you have a prescriptive right of access. What does that mean, honey child? Well, that means that, boy, oh, there we go. I don't know what's going on today with this thing. But that means that if they don't put up the gate in 50 years, you're going to say, but hold on a second. We've been coming and going all this time. So after the law talks about prescriptive right and how you can get a prescriptive right, then you argue that, oh no, they left it up too long without a gate. Although it's a private road, they've now given us access. This was the whole argument down in West Bay with the Adams family and that crazy Mendoza guy. They had acquired a prescriptive right, although it was a private road. And that's why government had to take it from being a private road to being a public road to just cut all the argument. So you have to be careful. There are other reasons why people do certain things legally. It may in large be because of the access, but I'm sure those landowners are going, you know, at some point, if we continue to let the public come in and out, they're going to be able to argue prescriptive rights. I'm just saying, this is where that law degree comes in awfully handy on a regular. Honey child. Good morning, handsome.
Boy, I don't know about
I tell you, we're going to give it to you this morning.
I have to ask.
Don't people throw you off when they give you such an unexpected compliment?
I suppose.
He don't even know how to respond. He's still like, yeah. You're amazing. Really, go on through, honey child.
I've never really gotten used to compliments.
You see, you should take them.
Yes. Now you really throw me off. No, I can't answer the question.
Now you're so flustered. You're like, what the hell?
With you talking about prescriptive rights, right? I mean, I couldn't help but draw a parallel to what is it called? Squatters' rights. It like being similar to squatters' rights. So, would it be similar to that?
The concept is very much the same. How it is applied, how you get there is a little bit different. But yes, allowing someone to be on your property and then you do nothing about it eventually will give them some rights.
So if I have a piece of land, right, that I haven't really done anything with the land, I just have it, and somebody, I don't know, sets up a hut or a tent, or in other words, they're living on the land, whether I know it or not. That would be the same, like prescriptive rights, squatters' rights kind of thing.
Yeah, well, squatters' rights, I think, tend to be, it's a common law concept again, that you tend to acquire it slightly different, but it does have to do with private land, not really a road normally, but it has to do with private land and or like a house type thing. So yes, someone after a certain amount of time, I don't know I'd have to look it up about what the squatters' rights are specifically in the Cayman Islands. Like I said, I got my trusty AI assistant here. I can certainly find out for you, but it's a similar concept in that you sit back and you allow someone to do something for a certain amount of time. And then that means that after a certain amount of time, they will gain ownership. Now, when it comes to prescriptive right-of-ways or right-of-way access, they don't gain ownership, but they gain the right to be able to use it as they had been for 30, 40, 50 years or whatever.
So by putting up this gate and they've essentially
they've cut that. Yeah. They've also legally addressed that.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you though.
But let me say this quickly about your question about squatters' rights. Apparently, in this jurisdiction, the legal doctrine is known as adverse possession. So that's a process that allows someone to acquire title to land by continuously occupying it in a manner inconsistent with the true owner's rights for a legally specified period of time. And so we have to look at things like the registered land law, which governs adverse possession in the Cayman Islands, as well as the Limitation Act 1996 revision.
Well, I have another question for you regarding roads. And now where I live, we don't pay strata. So, I mean, I'm assuming that NRA takes care of the maintenance of the roads down here, right? I've noticed that there are some houses. There's some little side roads that go nowhere. But I've noticed that some certain houses in the neighborhood, they like to drag boulders across the road so that nobody can go in. Is that legal?
I mean, we had this issue down in down Savannah area. There was one community, I forget what it was called. But you see, I don't think the developers of that community had privatized the roads. And they had put up some boulders some years back trying to block access in a particular way. And I believe that NRA had to get involved. So, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of think, though, that was a very different situation because that wasn't private. You see, once a developer actually completes a development, there's certain things that government has to do in terms of the roads and whatever that isn't happening.
But you're right. But what I'm saying is that
you have a perfect voice for some kind of show, because I swear every time you on, all these ladies be messaging, "Oh my gosh, I love his voice." Who's that caller? You need to do
the late show.
Hey, you need to do a like a faceless show where people don't see your face, but they hear that sultry voice.
I hear you.
But I like that you're always thinking along, asking very probative questions.
Well, the thing why I asked that is because, in my community here, there is no strata. If the roads in here were private, a strata would be put in place, correct? For the maintenance of those roads.
Yeah, because actually the government requires, per the law, when it's a private road, the government actually requires them to do certain things. It imposes conditions. Development and planning regulations actually impose conditions in terms of the use, maintenance, and so on. So that is where now there's a clear definition of what a private road is, because yes, the development and planning regulations specify, well, it's a private road. Now you are responsible for this, and this. So how they normally do that, and not all communities, to be honest, even have a homeowners association. I know some of them are like, oh, maybe we should do it, because government's not going to go down in there and do anything in relation to their roads and the upkeep of the area. But just a quick note, someone who lives in Patrick's Island said, yes, all of their service providers have access. So first responders, have a PIN code in the event that their SOS system fails. Water Authority, CUC, they all have PIN code access. I wonder how they keep track of that, though. My gosh, they must have a huge master
Even
list.
Bento?
I doubt the delivery services do. I mean, I don't know what their gate looks like, but a lot of them have an option where you can call someone and they'll buzz you in as well. They can remotely open it. I don't know if that's the kind of fancy gate system they have. They are not. But I assume for delivery drivers, they're not going to give them a code. They'd probably just pop it open for them.
I guess we'll soon see the Karen videos popping up in Cayman. Well, why are you here? Do you live here? Yes, I live here. No, I'm calling the police and blah, 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 blah. All right. Well, thank you for answering those questions.
You're most welcome.
Take care.
All right, darling. So there you go. You know, you got to show your show voice. You got to, what do you call it? Showtime voice. Get on it. Get on it.
Maybe we can do CMR radio.
Hello. It's coming. It's coming. Someone says, I'm not seeing you on YouTube. Oh my gosh, the show is almost over, honey child. Join the channel. That's the best way to get the daily links. Join the channel and get the daily alerts, honey child. All right, there you go. So yes, very, very interesting questions indeed. I mean, you know, well, Sandy, it's going to be arguments because of this gate, because it been open for this long. Well, y'all will soon get over it, just like you got over the one with Walker's Road. What's it called? Watler's Estate? No, Watler's. What is it? That one called Walker's Road again? Webster's. My apologies. Webster's Estate. Yeah. By next week, you guys would have forgotten all about it. Audrey says, Damian Charles, true that. Tell us what's happening with those that need okay. Esther. Hi, Anne-Marie. I know it keeps blinking in and out every other comment. So I put up a comment, it goes blank. I put up another comment, it comes back. So, Lord Jesus, I don't know what to tell y'all. It's weird. Some little bug in there today. Somebody just sent me, Anthony, I had to laugh at you when you talked about the new iPhone. I didn't look at the whole release yesterday, but this is the year for me to get an upgrade. So yes, I will be upgrading to the new iPhone. Come hell or high water. I know right now you can't get it, so there's no need to even look. It'll probably be down the, way past December into early next year. But I have told myself every other model, because I use my phone for work, it is a business expense. Every other model, I will be looking to do an upgrade. And this is a year, honey child. I didn't do it last year. Yes. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the Estes radio listeners. You'll have to join us. But yes. Oh my God, somebody just sent me a new camera that's out that's got me all like, oh, this looks amazing. So I'm going to check it out. It has a nice sensor. Custom f1.05 lens. Built for live streaming and podcasting or creating content from your studio or home. True to life colors, exceptional clarity. Oh, AI toning. I'm just like plug and play. I'm like, y'all are so, oh my God. They make these things for me, Yeah. I know what's going on. So USB 3.0 cable, no capture card required, HDMI output. So you can connect it to a switcher for professional multi-camera workflow or directly output the signal for real-time monitoring. Whew. I'm loving this. Oh my God. Wait till we get our studio done. In the name of Jesus, we should have the good news about that coming up here soon. We're going to have some studio space. 4K wireless live streaming. No computer required. Instantly stream to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch with a tap. Now, we would still need a computer because there's a reason why we use a computer. But anyway, this is pretty amazing because when you're on the road, if you want to live stream, you can do so. Want to stream to a custom platform via SRT or RMTP? We use RMTP for the website. Simply scan the QR code and enter the streaming URL and key. No matter the platform, its settings are always securely synced to the camera through the cloud. Now I know some of y'all tech people are like, oh, this cloud business. No need to log in, just power on and go live. I mean, I like it. Multi-platform streaming. So I need to see the size of this thing, but I'm thinking it allows the ability to stream to 2 platforms simultaneously without a computer. But like I said, we use an app for very, very specific reasons. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. But if the sensor and the quality control of it and all that good stuff is on par, wow, I can tell you, we gonna be into this. Yes, sir. This looks good. And this is a company that I use for other things like my mics and stuff, and I love them. Heat dissipation built for 24/7 streaming. Nobody can stream 24/7, really. Some people have died trying to stream 24/7, but I love these cameras. They're not PTZ, so that I'd have to look at the zoom options and stuff, but green screen setup. We're gonna have to do a green screen in one of those studios. So anybody who wants to can set up their own background. Who did I sell my green screen to? I think I might need to buy it back. I'm just saying. Who bought my green screen? Oh my God. Was that Cindy? Let me ask her, did you buy my green screen? I can't remember who the hell bought it from me, but I kind of need it back now. Because, if I go and order that from Amazon again, Marlon's going to have a conniption. Why did you sell it to begin with? I'd be like, this is what happens when you're in this tech space, honey child. Oh my gosh. Save yourself the disappointment, get a Samsung. No, Bobo. I can't even get used to typing on a Samsung. I'm going to be honest. It ain't happening. Oh, well. What a hot mess. Esther, let's get on it. All right. So in traditional hot mess of a situation in the United States of America, Lord, I can't with y'all. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Every minute they're changing it. So apparently when you apply for an ESTA, and I think I just applied for mine a couple months ago. So I won't have to do it. Maybe by then something will have happened to Trump and he's not even going to be president. We can get back to normalcy. I don't know. But Caymanians who are planning to travel to the United States under the visa waiver program, normally called ESTA, if you're renewing it, so either you're applying for one or you're renewing it, you have to do it through their website. They have their official ESTA blah, 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 blah. You're now required to upload a clear headshot and shoulders, so headshot and shoulders, photo taken against a plain, light background. Filters and heavy edits are not allowed, and the photo must closely match the applicant's passport. So they want a real-time photo of you. They claim that it is meant to reduce fraud. I don't think that there's been an issue in this area with no fraud. I mean, they have your passport, for God's sake. But anyway, Trump, he's in his isolationist mode. So they will put all kind of barriers up. But anyway, eligibility for ESTAs remains unchanged. Authorizations are still valid for 2 years or until the passport expires, whichever comes first. So Caymanians are reminded that not everyone automatically applies. ESTA, like any other application, can be refused for those with criminal records or who have traveled to countries such as Cuba. They've been doing that on or after January the 12th, 2021, as well as other countries such as Iran, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen since 2011, because they're all on the bad list. Another important change is there's been an increase in the fees. Go figure. How else is going to pay for that multi-trillion-dollar deficit, the highest deficit they've ever had. Fees and everything is going to go up. Cost of living has already gone up. Inflation's already gone up. So here we go. Beginning September 30th, all unpaid ESTA applications in the system are going to be subjected to the new $40 fee once CBP updates its payment systems. So that's the Customs and Border Protection. That's what CBP stands for. So there you go. You now have to take a picture. And I understand that you can do so with your mobile phone, your mobile devices. And then, yeah. All right. What a hot mess. So, oh my God, do they need to see you? Hearing perfectly fine on YouTube. Clearly, they need to see me. So this person says Samsung pictures are better than iPhone. I'm not sure if you can say, but did the young man in the accent, is he still alive? Well, they haven't confirmed a fatality, so it looks like he is still alive. So fees went up to $41. Used to be $21. Yeah. So anywho, that's the hot mess that y'all are in with the United States of America. Welcome to America. Yeah, they're even taking pictures like when you're leaving the country. They're taking a picture. Have mercy. When you're leaving the country, they're taking a picture of you as well at the little Cayman Airways gate. So that's a new addition in Miami anyway. I can't remember if we did that in Tampa. So different locations and different, they're all over the place. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, you can take it, I think, just with your phone and submit it. RR said Trump needs to pay for his genocide of land in Palestine. What a hot mess. I don't. Yes, we need to see you to make sure you're real, says Marshall. That's a funny one. Tartarian says, I don't see this as a problem. We need to stop being so soft. Whatever. I mean, if you're not committing fraud, there'll be people who will argue about soon they're going to want your DNA sample. But I guess it's their country. So they set the perimeters under which you can enter and exit. It is what it is. So yeah. Jim says, I don't live in a structured strata type residential neighborhood myself and have no desire to live in that type of restricted environment again. But the laws are the laws and the rules are the rules, whether we accept them or not. And yeah, you have a right to a private, So Marjorie says, so a road becomes private when there's a strata only. No, I don't think that's right. It's private once they have designated it as private. So I think really what happens is they apply to the planning department, and the planning department will specify if it is, oh man, this camera looks good. Whew. Honey child, when can I order this? Lens hood. Ooh la la. So yeah, I think the strata specifies, and then not the strata, my apologies. The developer specifies it to planning, and planning has to approve it as such. Goes through the planning process, and then it is what it is. All right. What kind of website these people just send me to? You better have this available on Amazon, because I ain't ordering from the Alibaba people. No, sir. Don't come with that foolishness. Of course, it's available on Amazon, but not until September. Sure. Oh, this is a different camera. Ooh, this is a totally different one. All right, I need to go and do some research for work, of course. All this shopping is like IT related work expenses. Don't be coming for me like you're Marlon Hill. New iPhone is in my preview. I got to go watch the release. But one of the things I sent Marlon this morning, and this is so cool. Is, hold on now. I sent him this morning. Can I show y'all something? Apparently, the new AirPods 3 are going to have live translation. I am loving that. So no matter where you go, oh yeah, it is September now. That's not that far off, actually. No, I think the one I need to get is not. Oh my God. Woman's accidental voicemail allegedly exposes plot to help man dispose of dead body. She butt dialed someone and left this voicemail. Oh, poor her. That's when you don't know how to use technology. you shouldn't have a phone in your hand. You're murdering someone and disposing of a body, and then you're letting the popo know about it because you accidentally butt dialed someone. OMG. You not easy. No, sir. There she is. Oops, hold on. Wow. Well, she's going to jail. All right. Oops, hold on. Apple AirPods 3 to have live translation. Now, I'm all about this life. OMG. This is great. So when you travel and somebody is hablando en español, I'm like, oh my gosh, yo no entiendo, blah, 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 blah. Now, in your ears, you can hear what they're saying. I love this. When I go to those nail people, the Vietnamese people, I want to hear what they be saying about me because I'm going to be like, miss, I understand every word you say. Go on through Apple, bring through the technology. They're going to be like, oh, these Black people, they don't like to tip very well. I wonder if she's one of those. And then I'll say, yes, actually, I tip really well. And their mouth going to drop open because they're not going to know how I know what they just said. They can't be talking about you no more. I am getting these. Please tell me where I can sign up. I will sleep outside the Apple store to get one of these. But no, these are great for when you travel. These are fantastic for traveling and not even traveling, just people around you. Somebody comes now, ching, chong, 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 chong. All my Chinese movies that I like to watch. Oh my God. I can now watch them and don't have to read the little thing. I'll know what they're saying. Song, swing, shuang, shang, ting, chuang, chuang. I love it. I love modern technology. I'm in love with modern technology. This is where our lives become infinitely better. Gabby says, that's going to be a problem, Sandy. Well, there's plus and minuses and you take it. What? A whistling woman and a crowing hen is an abomination to man, says the Bible. Okay, y'all lost me there. I'm confused. Sandy, have you seen the new Compass Storm Tracker truck? It sure is pretty. How will CMR respond to that? Maybe a Tesla truck? Why would you need a Storm Tracker truck? You see, this is where you have more sense. You have more money, my apologies, than you have sense. Compass has lost the plot. Dart money must be sweetening them beyond. And Dart gonna have to reel this ish in. He gonna have to say, listen, y'all, we'll never see a profit. But y'all have got to cut this shit out, wasting money. Who needs a storm tracker? We're going to have a tornado in 5 seconds, and that's a normal. You know how much those vehicles probably cost? That is such a waste of money. Thankfully, knock on wood, say an extra prayer. We have not even had any storms yet, and we are right now, 9/11 is tomorrow, Hurricane Ivan anniversary. We are in the thick, but I haven't seen it, so I don't even know what the hell it looks like, but we're in the thick of hurricane season. So what y'all trying to tell me? They're going to be chasing a hurricane and getting somebody killed on the job so then they can pay out some poor, person's family millions of dollars? Child, please. That's ridiculous. And a Tesla truck? Ugh, definitely not. Under no circumstances. Miss Brenda said I need to add that Volvo to my Amazon cart. I think they're supposed to start selling cars soon, actually, on Amazon. Check my messages. Which messages? Hold on now, honey child. Let me see. I always forget to check these messages over here. Hold on. Can we ask the police to direct traffic by Red Bay School? It's disgusting. Okay, so I've already reached out to the RCIPS, and what they have said is that, because somebody's like, well, how can they direct traffic there but can't help us? They said, listen, this is just the first day of this implementation of the gate. And so they are not going to be there every day. So they can help with traffic flow and stuff like that. Even in private areas, they can try to help a little bit. But, some keys were found at, okay, let me get on that. Some keys were found down by Smith Cove. If you lost your keys at Smith Cove, honey child, reach out. We found them already. But yes, they can help traffic a little bit, but that's all they're going to do. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I know, Miss Brenda, Costco already they've skipped Halloween this year, I feel like, and Christmas stuff is already in Costco in like August. Come on now. Don't skip the seasons. Oh, I think the issue has been fixed. It's not doing it anymore. Okay, so I'm definitely getting those AirPods when they become available. And 4K 30 frames per second, RMTP. Oh, this is a different camera. This one, how is it? Online course teaching. What? But this one isn't available? Huh. I gotta wait till I see some reviews on these cameras because I'm not. Somebody said Price Right already has Christmas stuff. What? Oh, the reviews on this one. Somebody gave it a 4-star and somebody gave it a 1-star. Great for streaming, podcasts, OBS, Zoom, whatever. Green screen removal is pretty solid. Android interface is easy to navigate. Only downside for me, it has no image stabilization. Why would you need image stabilization if it's like you're not going anywhere with it? Like you got it set as a fixed camera. That's weird. Not sure why you'd want image stabilization, but anyway. That's a funny request. All right. Well, as you can see, I'm in tech mood, folks, so I gotta go. Miss Sylvana says she lost her keys. Hold on. Let me show you what it looks like. I don't know what kind of car key that's supposed to be. Oops. I noticed too. That's another issue, I got to talk to these people about. I'm going to raise this concern with my tech team here. So I don't know what kind of key that is. I can't make it out, but it has some kind of blue thing on it. And some other keys. It has quite a few keys, actually. House keys, some kind of mailbox keys, all kind of keys on that. I don't have no keys that I walk around with. I have a little fob for the car, but I must tell you that we have locks that are like coded and stuff, so I don't walk around with no keys. That's a Ford Ranger Raptor. Oh, you mean what those people have as their... that's a waste of money. I could not understand the build, the use case for that, the business case argument that they would have convinced somebody to give them money to buy any such thing. That's just when you got stupid money. Yeah. All right. Regarding the hot mess of a situation, I'm hearing the motorbike rider has died. Really? From yesterday? I mean, it's weird because the police haven't said that. So let me just check in with them. They haven't said anything since August 15th in that group chat. Okay, let me see. But this girl, she's left. She's still in the group? She's a group admin, but she's no longer working for the RCIPS? And that don't make no sense. Y'all need to remove her now. Bobo. Okay. That accident yesterday in West Bay. Fatality, question mark. All right. All right, you people in your fancy cars causing a havoc, and you're being reported to CMR, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to post this up on social media. Y'all better try and behave. Whether you have fancy cars or not, nobody's going to be spared. So we will be posting this story up on social media. Social media, please. Y'all need to do better. They reported the police. That's where y'all taking advantage of like the blue spots and stuff like that. Deplorable behavior, if you ask me. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. Big shout out to let me see here now. Yeah, so make sure you someone asked if I travel to Cuba on my Cayman passport, will this be a problem for me getting to use the ESTA? Yes, they have definitely they've definitely done that to people. Yes, sir. Another nail salon that has opened up. Oh. Huh. Where is this one located? I need to make my appointments tomorrow for my nails and stuff before I go away. You know, when you're going on vacation, you always have to fix yourself up nice. See these as Marlon would call them, crocodilian nails and stuff like that. So I'm bad need of a proper manicure. I don't do all this fake nail shit. Don't bring it to me. But yeah. Ooh, fiery Cajun shrimp stuffed jalapenos. Ooh, that sounds spicy, but delicious spicy. Oh, I don't know if my stomach can handle that though, but that looks good. Shrimp and a little bit of bacon, like in a stuffed jalapeno. This is what happens when I start scrolling on Facebook. I see all these things. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got to send this story to Renee right away. Put this one up because this is hilarious. Okay, send me the camera info as I was thinking for the investment yes, I will. But there's some other, I need to do some comparisons. So just because it's new doesn't mean that it's going to be the best. So, 3 new deep sea species discovered off the coast of California. Ooh, you know, deep sea creatures are so weird. They look weird. Because they have different characters because they're so deep in the water. So when they come closer up, then, yeah. Okay, let me send this to my website guy. He needs to get up to speed on something. Anywho, all right, deep sea creatures. They give me the EBGBs. They just look so weird. Okay, all right. So I needed to send this to the RCIPS, saying if she no longer works for you, she should not be your she shouldn't be the group admin if no longer employed with the police. All right, let me send that to Mr. Kurt Walton. Now maybe she left that phone and they need to redo it. All right, good folks. Let me see what else we got going on. Go ahead, have a salad. Oh God, we got plenty in the fridge, Jim. Miss Stacy, she needs to work on portions a little bit. She made a big salad, so I'll be eating that all week. Morning from the bluff. It's hot today, boy. Cameron Brack. Heat is a little bit different. I don't know why, but the heat temperature, the feel like temperature there is crazy. What a mess. It depends on when they travel to Cuba. Well, he's talking about a current trip. If you go now, you're in trouble. So don't chance it. Don't chance it. All right, folks. Thank you so much, as usual, for tuning into the program. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to go do some tech research. Yeah, she ordered a lot of lettuce. Chow. She's going to be eating like a rabbit. All right. So, yes, I've got lots of things to do. So I'm going to get on it. And I wish you guys a beautiful, super productive, tech-filled day. I was watching some learning videos last night. And I am going to get back into that because I have something at my mailbox I need to pick up. And it is a whole situation and then some. So, oh my gosh, my apologies. Lord Jesus, sorry. Let me see here. I think I got to do a quick trip in and out of Miami this week, to be honest. Yikes. Because when I'm away next week, I need stuff. So, Friday. Might have to go Friday. All right, let me go message my friends over at Kim Airways to see if we can sort out something. All right, I'm going to work it out. I know I got a free ticket, so I'm going to work it out. All right, beautiful people. 7,600 square foot, 6 bedroom, 6.5 bath. I bet you this is in a gated community. You're not getting through them gates. Where's the price? Why don't they ever just give you the price for these on Facebook? Tell me how many millions y'all want for this house. Ooh, I like the kitchen. Not crazy about the color of the kitchen cabinets, but oh, they got drapes in there. Ugh, I hate drapes. I would take those down and put up some fancy. You're right on the beach, honey child. Oh, that's the life. It's called the Blue House in South Sound. 7,600 square feet. That's a lot of cleaning. Yes, ma'am. Not yet. You ready? Okay. All right. Okay, bye. A piano. Yes, I need a full piano. You got a pool room, a little pool area. Oh, I love to live. I do love to look at how the posh side, how they live, Oh, I need to speak to you. All right. Gotta go. Have a beautiful day. Please be safe on the roadways. I'll find out more about that accident. And as soon as we know, we'll post up one of those lovely AI videos that you guys love. I'm going to start doing all news soon by AI videos. So y'all better get used to it. It's getting better, though. You have to admit, it's getting a whole lot better. So you know what I'm saying? All right. Toodaloo. Be blessed. Until mañana.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.